say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thursday, the 18th of September, and the rate cut decision has been finished. So, Bitcoin local price action. We did a retest of the lows quite nicely at pretty much around the interest rate decision, and have since made a new high. So we've gained the node about 115 point. Let's call it 115.8. We've made a new high at 117.9. And locally, the price action looks pretty darn decent. So if we can hold that low that we just put in, I don't see why we can't go up and tag 120. Looks pretty good. If we see some breakdowns from that level, the hourly node, then I would expect to test all the way back down around 111. Very, very simple at this moment in time now. In terms of the liquidations, yeah, again, we've kind of wicked into that stuff to the upside at around 118. There is stuff all the way up to basically 120, 121, but we do have a nice little hot pocket just below us at 114. So if we do see those local breakdowns on the hourly, we might go and hunt some of that stuff below us. But as of right now, it looks pretty good to maybe continue up to 120 and then flush all that stuff to the downside. That'd be really interesting. In terms of the long to short ratio, it's been swinging quite a lot recently, actually. We did have some longs coming in at resistance yesterday. When the interest rate decision was happening. When was that? So wait, what's the date? 17 at, so that was about here. No, here. It was around here when we were 55% long, and we kind of peaked at 56.5% long and have since come back down to about 50-50. So long to short ratio is pretty 50-50 at the moment. So I guess you could say that because the price action, we've actually gained something and made a new high, that's kind of pointing more towards the upside as well at this moment in time. On the daily, we are getting across, actually. Let's just check this on the hourly time frame. Yeah, we're kind of like literally right on 50-50. If we do see shorts starting to increase as the price kind of grinds up here, then yeah, it might be quite interesting to see what happens when we hit 120k. But all in all, I guess yesterday kind of went off without a hitch. I really didn't really do that much at all yesterday. I kind of just didn't pay attention to it. So yeah, happy days. Let's go to the old charts and we'll see what happened with some of this stuff. So if anyone wants me to look at anything, of course, slap it in the chat. But Bitcoin, let's zoom in. So yeah, we've done some nice gains of level. Actually, let's look at this on the 4 hour time frame. Nice back test the weekly open. Held this low quite nicely. Since I've made a new high as well. Coming up to resistance here at 118k. But the local price action looks good. Since we kind of done this area, so we've done the gain at the bullish back test, it actually looks a lot better than, I think I was streaming on Tuesday and I said I was going to take a short, and I actually did take a short around, I think it was like around here, and I've been stopped on it now at like 1% or something. So yeah, yeah, I think it was right on here. And then it just did this like weird, like crabby up. So yeah, basically this is the level that you want to hold now. And if we start losing the weekly open, all this overlapping support, we're going to go all the way down to 111, I think. Maybe some brief stop-offs here, but yeah, 111 will be the target for me. And if not, then yeah, we're probably going to see 120, 119, 120 quite soon. Looks pretty good, you know. I guess this was the wick from the interest rate cut. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Got some support down here at the moment. if we do see a little bit more of a breakdown, then yeah. There's also the possibility that you could draw a little, like if we do start coming back down, then the weekly open is obviously going to be an area to bid, and you don't want to close any candles below that. Anyway, Bitcoin, a little bit boring at the moment. ETH's currently up against this weekly open at the moment. Do I have a better chart? Yeah, I guess that's resistance on both. Yeah, so we're also up against resistance as well. This is, I believe, this is the all-time high weekly swing. Yeah. So I think this is going to be very interesting where we close this weekly candle. If we can close this weekly candle above, it'll be like a bullish hammer. Also, I should probably take those lines off. I don't even know why I've got them on. Keep those. Yeah, if you can close above that weekly open and above that weekly all-time high swing, it's going to be looking quite good. Until then, we're kind of just in that weird zone where we're in between support and resistance here. And yeah, let's go back down to the 4 hour actually. Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit more time for this to resolve itself. I would say that locally it looks quite good because this is support. We've got a new high of support into obviously this resistance. And then as of right now, we have a higher low. So, you know, looks pretty decent. The conditions kind of it's kind of giving blow off top vibes, to be honest. But yeah, what's happening with Sol looked like it was actually breaking down on Tuesday when we were doing this bearish retest, but we've actually held the low quite nicely and come up and tested the highs now. So this also looks potentially quite decent to actually see a pump into like the mid 250s. I have taken a little bit of profit on Sol, of course, like in this area here, and maybe if we get over 250, I might take a little bit more. But yeah, again, this could definitely be retested in between weekly open in December. And if you lose these lows down here now, it's gonna be a rough tumble. So either bullish back test and we're gonna go see a little bit higher, and then we might make a bearishly divergent high on the daily time frame, because we do have some bearish divergence on the retail stablecoin demand. We're overbought on the daily time frame. We're also getting like reactive on the harmony. So this kind of just looks like a divergent high up to resistance around 252 in the 250s. And then yeah, if we do start breaking some of these lows here, it's going to be like we're going to come and clear all of this stuff, because there's definitely a ton of liquidity underneath here, underneath here, underneath here. This is actually the big one, September. There's going to be a lot of liquidity here. But yeah, it looks quite good in the meantime. Can't really knock it, can you? I've gone back too far. $250, 255. This is probably gonna stop at some point. At some point quite soon. 0.25, you are correct. Yeah. Yeah, I did want to see some like bigger wicks on some of these alts to get into some positions. So for example, like one example would be Injective. Like I kind of wanted to see here this like take all of this and then do that. But yeah, we've done some quite bullish back tests. And for this now, if you can hold like the weekly open, it's probably going to squeeze up a little bit higher and go for this high. But yeah, I did want to see, whoops. I did want to see some like nasty wicks on the interest rate decision, but we didn't really get that. So I haven't really been filled in a lot of my positions, unfortunately. But it's all right. We're chilling. I'm gonna wait for this week to play out as well, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. We are definitely in resistance here, and we do have like a lower low as of right now, so we can't really make a new high here. We're either gonna hold the weekly open and then make a new high, or we're probably gonna do something like this and then come and actually take it then, and then round bottom it out into October, because this is definitely like decent amount of resistance up here. Let's check daily. Again, daily actually looks quite good. All we need to do is make a new high from where we are right now. These retests are really quite strong. Retest the high of this looks good. If you can make a new high, then basically you're kind of just looking to like bullishly retest this and go a little bit higher. Looks quite good. Looks quite good. I quite like it. Hype's doing really good, as always. We love a bit of hype. I did think this was going to see a bit more of a pullback. It's a bit weird because it was also on Tuesday looking quite rough when I was doing my stream around here. Definitely looking rough, like in terms of the price action. We're underneath the weekly open. We're kind of like bearishly retesting like this area as well, with a new low. So I was thinking like we're at least going to come down to this swing and maybe even just all the way down to the base and move in here. But then, what time was this? Tuesday, 1 p.m. Literally just after my stream, we did this 1 4-hour candle that closed above. And then in the next one, a bullish backtest the weekly open and then kind of just sent it off. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we are in a bull market. So if this comes back down, it's an area to bid until we lose like just a weekly open, basically, just that area. So hopefully we get a little bit of a pullback into like today and tomorrow into the weekend, and then maybe we see like something like this, and then the weekend it kind of like grinds, and then Monday we get the dump, and then like Tuesday it starts like doing that. That'd be quite nice. But yeah, it looks really good. We actually made a new high on that daily close yesterday. We do have some bearish divergence. Like all these metrics are kind of pointing towards a pullback. Reactive re-entry, trend change, bearish divergence on the retail stablecoin demand, and we actually have the secondary pump up. Bearish divergence on the momentum as well. Just doesn't have any breakdowns in structure as of yet. So still looks good, although the metrics, so like the oscillators and stuff like that, are looking extremely topped on hype. So potentially you could actually start seeing something here off this daily combination band where we get one wick in, and then again underneath the daily open, and then one more wick up to test, and then just like fails. But yeah, hold the weekly open, and then I don't see any reason why it can't go higher. And yeah, if we actually get a proper like blow off top breakout on hype, then this could actually go to like 110, which would be absolutely insane if it went from $9 to 110. When did $9 happen as well? That was April, so yeah, before the 100k party. That's pretty crazy. Definitely been the best coin this cycle and the best product, like hands down. You can't like just argue with the wall. So what else have we got? We got Fartcoin. Came down and tested the lows down here. Again, I actually wanted to see this sweep a little bit lower because when we did this low, I kind of wanted us to like bearish retest and come and sweep all of this. But yeah, we didn't really get that, and we've currently gained the weekly open. We're up against resistance right now, but it's kind of just like squeezing a little bit weirdly. If we can hold, we actually haven't even bullishly back tested this, so that's for testing. This is all tested. This high around this daily open one needs to be tested. This weekly open needs to be tested. You might see a little bit more of a squeeze up into this resistance, but this is definitely going to yield like some sort of pullback before we go a little bit higher on this, if that was the low in at 80 cent, let's call it. But yeah, I'm still actually tentatively quite long on Filecoin, and I do think like this area is going to be the liftoff area for it. So all my longs from back down like 95, like 90 cent in this area, I've just held through this like deviation, and I just want to see us like gain and just like go a bit higher. In terms of the short term, let's just go to the hourly. Oh, this price action looks so janky. Again, just seeing some resistance off the daily open and yearly open, probably going to come down and maybe test 8.5 or at least like the bottom of this here around the weekly open in the short term, where there might be a decent little trade. Oh, one thing I actually did get filled on was turbo. So I was waiting for a little bit low on this, but I did have my orders set in between like 40 cent and 3.8, so I just had loads of orders in here. Got pinged on a little bit just above this like previous weekly open, so around here, this swing, and yeah, just taken half off, and now I'm just gonna wait. Again, I wanted this to sweep a little bit lower on the interest rate, something like that, and then blast off, but we didn't really get it. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more of a sell the news like wick, and then we were gonna start blasting off, but everything seems to have reacted quite well in the short term. But yeah, I would like to see some of these weekly candles close quite bullishly to give me a little bit more confidence in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, another thing that's doing actually really well is AVAX. We were talking about this quite extensively in August, just in this area. I brought it up in Viking stream as well a couple times, and yeah, we're just pretty much going for 35 straight away. I did think we were gonna have a little bit of a stop off at like 32, around like the low of this swing here, but we seem to just be completely going for it. And yeah, the target for this is going to be probably like 35-ish, just around here. But yeah, that's something that looks really good. And this is probably why that we shouldn't really pay any attention to any economic event, because let's just take AVAX for example. And so when was the rate cut decision? Rate cut decision was literally here. And so if you're looking at this chart basically just with no data eyes, this basically just retested the low bullishly, broke above the weekly open, did a retest of the weekly open, and then just sent like 15%. But yeah, I was looking at this on, I think we were looking at this on stream, and I was like, oh, it looks actually quite good because it's above the weekly open and it's broken above like this. But I didn't take any trade on this just because of the news. When if I didn't even really care about the news, maybe I would have long the weekly open. It was weird because when I was in Japan, like I did not look at this shit once, and my trading was probably better for it because I was literally just trading like 786 fibs and like gains of weekly open and shit, or like retests of weekly opens and stuff. But anyway, apart from that, That's kind of all I've got really to talk about. Um, yeah, Popcat looks a little bit, looks quite nice. There is quite a lot of locally new highs. So I might, if we do like start coming down a little bit, there is a possibility to like bid some of these lows that we put in from the rate cut, just like down here. But yeah, it's just looking a little bit janky for me at the moment. What's Doge doing? Looks alright. I actually gained this weekly open. This looks decent. Again, this sort of structure now, you can come down and retest sort of in here. But if you lose these lows, you're going to go all the way back down to here and potentially even like the base of the move. So there could be a little bit of a play here potentially. But yeah, let's have a look at let's do like render. Yeah, looks okay. I mean, this was a really good buy zone actually, in between 3.3 and 3.15, which I was talking about. So yeah, I expect this to go a little bit higher in the short term. But yeah, let's do the chat's favorites. Let's do Morpho, and we'll do there was another one as well, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, so Morpho gave this weekly open quite nice. Bullish back tests of September. These lows in here. That's quite good. I quite like that as well. This is probably going to step ladder a little bit higher now. And in the short term, yeah, little something like this, maybe up to resistance around 2.2, and then yeah, it might actually continue all the way up to like 2.4, and then the pocket up here is where I think it's going to stop. Again, altcoins looking pretty decent right now. I really wanted to see some like nasty wicks on the interest rate, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. It would have been genius if we did get like literally this, but can you look at XAIX and XETR exchange, not crypto? These are stocks then. XAIX. How do I turn that off? Like that background. Oh, that's gone. So this is the one, right? XAIX. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like, this is like blue sky breakout territory. Currently above its weekly open as well. On the foot. Whoa, that's not. All these charts look so weird. Well, all I can say on this is we're above weekly open. If we break that weekly open, you're gonna come all the way back down to support in here, and I would expect this to hold pretty heavily. I can't. This chart is giving me an aneurysm. But yeah, it looks good, man. Just gonna continue. This is the US dollar one. I'm looking at the euro one on XETR. XETR. Gold, this one. Etc. Gold. Nah, that's not the right one. O gold? Is that the ticker? That looks similar to the last one. Why are there so many of the different one of the same one, bro? Oh, XAIX on XETR. Oh, X. I get it. Here we go. This one then. Let's just take that off. Yeah, this one. This is definitely gotta be the one. Yeah, it's kind of like the same sort of thing. Like hold this high. Whoops. Hold this high and you're definitely going higher. Break that and you're gonna come back down in support where you expect it to hold and just bid it. Definitely, like if you get back into like August, September, this area is like an area to bid. And you actually might see like just a continued breakout from weekly open. These charts are so weird. It looks like hieroglyphics, bro. An ETF of the major AI companies. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, actually. X trackers, artificial intelligence, and big data. So you're trading cash flow on this? Let me go back to daily. Yeah, you're getting some reactive. Cash flow comes in a little bit too late. It doesn't really seem to actually do too much on this because you get cash flow out twice here and some bearish divergence, and it kind of just continues to go up. Anybody put money into this? Doge spacecraft. What the fuck is this, bro? Is that a Doge miner? CubeSat unit somewhere. Company commercial. Online Doge one mission to the first hour. Issue paid it. That looks sick. Long-term investing, looking to add on a pullback. Yeah. So if I was looking to like long-term just stack. Do you know what? This is a really good idea, Egil, because we're getting towards the end of the bull market. So a lot of people are probably thinking like, where do I cash out to? And probably a good one to cash out into is something like this, which is just kind of like an ETF of all AI and big data, which is like quite a safe bet to maybe just funnel some of your profits into. So yeah, I'd just say like if you're getting to like 140, that'd be a good area to bid. Likewise, you could actually come and test a little bit higher and you might not see that low down, but you're definitely expecting like this area to hold like 100%. It's a cube satellite. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. But yeah, apart from that, I might just look at Sui real quick. Yeah, breaking out. 4.1 next on Sui. I'll see you lads there. Yeah, this is trying to break out pretty heavy. At resistance though. So if you see this close above here on this 4 hour anywhere, you're probably going to get a little bit of a pullback because you're in the 4 hour combination band and you're already also on resistance. But if this kind of like comes back all the way down to here and does like tests in here, then yeah, that's the next move. All the way up to yearly open. Because this is untested. Actually, that's tested. Yeah, that's actually tested. So just weekly open here. Retest. And then it's gonna fly. You see the charts I posted in altcoins? No, sir. Ooh, you posted some tasty stuff for me. No, this is all like 1:30, 2 a.m. for me. So you've put hype. You've got, yeah. I mean, look at all that liquidity below. I mean, like the way that I'm looking at the market right now is obviously like we should just be playing the levels and not really like listening to all the like, oh, we got the rate cuts, oh, we got this, or we got that. We should just be playing the charts. But for me, it seems weird. There's so much liquidity below us that we could do something like really nasty where everyone's like, oh, it's actually over, and then we do that like one blow off top, like crazy, like really fast rally, and then it's just over. That's why I kind of wanted to see a little bit more of a pullback on the rate cut decision, because I feel like it would have been slightly more sustainable for the market towards like into the end of the year. But regardless, if we start breaking out now, it might even actually be the last one, because like I said, yeah, there's just so much liquidity below us that if we take everything to the upside, it's just like, yeah, it's just gonna be ridiculous. Like, you don't really have to be a rocket scientist just to see like how much is gonna be like all the way under here, all through this upside drive. And to be honest, on hype, this actually looks parabolic anyway. Like as if it's gonna do one more, like you said, and then just do that. And then we can talk about maybe like doing one more or like doing a higher low. But yeah, again, I would like to see the weekly close this week and kind of let the markets digest everything. But for right now, it looks quite good, and I'm still expecting 119, 120k basically to be heavy resistance on Bitcoin. Because even on Bitcoin, like if we look at the liquidations as well, we've got a hot pocket at 118.9 or 118.8 right here. We do have some like liquidations in place at 120.5, 120. And on the liquidation charts, like we've got liquidity all the way up to basically 121, where it stops here. And then we're just gonna have so much stuff all the way down here. Like, look at all this stuff. That's ridiculous. This is all like high leverage as well. This is all high leverage. So, you know, if we keep grinding up, we take all of that, and then maybe we do like a retest and then do one more, it's just going to be like, okay, bye. Full retest of the lows. Let's actually look at the daily. Actually, let's go to Binance. It's probably not really that good of a chart to look at it on. 12 hours better. Yeah, so like this is all high leverage stuff right here. You think they're not going to get absolutely pinged at some point? Okay, let me go back to the chat quickly, and maybe I'll stop my stream now. Actually, I will stop my stream now. Actually, hold on. Good stream, boys. Heading back to the hospital. See you later, Eggle. Bro. Yo, I missed the stream again. NY track pump today, and then damp. Too much to ignore. Yeah, bro. Exactly. Just way too much to ignore. And, you know, like, yeah, we could take all of this. That's fine. Definitely take all of this. But this is, we're getting into this low leverage stuff now. What is this? Is this 5x's or? Oh, that's 20x's. Okay, it's not that low leverage to be honest, but yeah, this is all like super high leverage stuff, and this at the minimum should at least be taken. You know, there's a little dead zone at 110, 111, which I was talking about on the liquidations as well. There is a little dead zone in here just below these lows. So we could like sweep and then sweep, and then we'll have like some nice structure in here. And do you know what? If we did that, this would look kind of like when Bitcoin topped out last cycle, where it's this like weird sideways channel, and then you get one like false breakout, false move, and then it just deviates and it goes like that, and then it's just over. To be honest, if I'm being completely honest. And we just go and hunt all this shit like down here. Yeah. Anyway, I would like to see the old coins pop off, please, sir. That meme is giving me an epileptic fit. Yeah.